In today's lesson, we're going to continue building off of the concept of slope. So in our previous lessons, we've always said that anytime we see little m always means slope. Okay? In our last assignment that both Ms. Brimhall and myself did, we've been looking at things in this form of y equals mx plus b. And this is what we call slope-intercept form. Okay? So we're going to pretend the b is not here right now, and we're just going to focus on the y equals mx part. And one of the previous assignments we both did is we had you identify the slope out of this equation. And we said the slope usually sits right in front of this x. Okay, so whatever the m is in front of the x, that was our slope. Okay, so where are we going to use this? If we give you the equation y equals 1/2 x, and we asked you like we did before, what is our slope? Okay, so hopefully you can pull that out from our previous assignments and know that the slope is 1/2. But great, we're actually going to graph this equation now. We're going to put this up on our grid here. Okay, so when it's in the form of y equals 1/2 x, it's going to start at our origin. It's going to start at the dead center, the 0, 0 point. Okay, and then our m, our slope, is 1/2. Another way of looking at m is we call it movement. What does our movement tell us to do from our starting point here? So our slope is 1/2, which means from our starting point we're going to move up 1, and then we're going to go right a +2. And then there's next point. Up 1, right 2. We're building those little stairs. And then we're just going to send a line through those 2 points. And notice lines go on forever, so we usually do put little arrows on the ends of each of the lines to make sure everyone's going on forever. And that is what we call the graph of y equals 1/2 x. Okay? And if we kept that going with our slope, up 1, right 2, yep, we're on the line. And we did it again, up 1, right 2, we're on the line. Up 1, right 2, and we're on the line. And we're building those little stairs that we've been talking about with slope. Okay, so we're actually going to graph the equations today. So let's look at another one here. Let's say we have the equation y equals -2/3 x. So once again, we're going to start here at the origin. We're going to start at our 0, 0 point. Okay, and then we're going to ask ourselves, what is the slope in the equation? And this time it's -2/3. Okay, so our movement from our center point is going to tell us that we're going to go down 2 this time in -2. So count down 2 spots, 1, 2, and then we have a +3. So then we're going to move right 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then that's where our point's going to go. We're down 2, 1, 2, right 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to send a straight line through those 2 points. And that is the graph of y equals -2/3 x. Okay. Now notice how on this problem I put the negative on the top. Okay. Most of your problems you're going to see, or your worksheets, they're going to give you the equation and it's going to say something like this. They're going to go y equals 1/4 x, and they're going to put this negative sign just right here in the dead center. Okay, so my question is to you, where does this negative go? Does this negative go to the top, or does it go to the bottom? Hopefully you didn't say you put it in both spots. If you put the negative in both spots, a negative divided by a negative makes a positive. And we don't want that. We want just the problem like the one up here, just the problem to be negative. So honestly, it doesn't matter for video's sake here where you put it. Okay, you just want to put it either in the top or the bottom, but just put it in one of the 2 locations. I usually tell my kids we just move it to the top. So another way of saying this is if we just really say y equals -1/4 x. Okay, so it's okay to just take that negative right here and just put him on the top. That'll help me when I graph it. So once again, now we're going to start at our origin. We're going to start at the center, start at 0, 0. And now that I move that negative to the top, it tells me what to do. So from my starting point, I'm going to go down 1, because it's negative 1, down 1, and then right 4. So down 1, and then right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is my next point, and I'm going to send a line through those two dots. And hopefully your lines are better than mine. They should hit both points. Okay. So there's our graph of y equals negative 1/4 x. Okay. Let's look at this situation. I want you to think about this. If we have, let's say, y equals 3x. We know it's going to start at the center. Okay. But what's my slope going to tell me to do? What's my movement going to say? Now, we've always said that we want slope to be a rise over a run. Well, this is just a whole number. So we really kind of want a fraction form, right? So how do I turn this into a fraction? We put it over 1. Oh, so now it gives me the rise and it gives me my run. Okay, so it's just a whole number there. Just put a 1 underneath it. So now from my starting point, it tells me to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go right 1. So up 3, right 1. There's my dot, and we send a line through those. Okay, I want you guys to try one real quick. So draw a little grid on your sheet of paper. Okay, looks something like this. And then I want you to graph that equation. Okay, hopefully you're saying it should start at the center. Asking you what your slope, what your movement tells you to do from there. Your slope's going to tell you you're going to go up 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to go right 5. So up 2, and then right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need to put another line. So up 2, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add your point. And send your line. And that's the graph of y equals 2/5 x. Okay? And I want you to graph this one. Okay, once again, hopefully it's in the center. Okay, now when we found the slope off this worksheet, we really tried to drill this home with you guys once in class. There's a number here. What's our slope? It's really like saying y equals 1x, right? And then once again, we want this to be a rise over a run. So turn into a fraction, put it over 1. So from my starting point, it tells me to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, and so on. So there's the graph of y equals x. Okay, I want you to look at two special cases. These are the tricky ones, and then we're good for the day. Let's say we have this situation, and we say y equals 3. And we want to graph this one. So from our previous lessons, we said the slope is always located in front of the x. Well, there is no x in this problem. So we should know the slope is 0. And we've really been trying to drill this home with you guys. If the slope is 0, the picture should be a horizontal line. So how do we know where we're going to draw this horizontal line when the slope is 0? Well, it tells you right here. It says y is 3. Well, this is my y-axis, So go to where 3 is. On the y, I go up to positive 3, and I draw my horizontal line. So you use all that information to get to this. Okay? And it's the same situation if we went like this. If we said x equals -2, then this is just something we got to know. When it's an x equals graph, the x is not over here. My slope, this doesn't matter. Okay, it's kind of like this one. So this is the one where we have the undefined slope. And so it tells you where to go. It says x is -2, so go back to -2, and then we're going to draw our vertical line at -2. So watch for these two to show up in your assignment. Okay, these are the tricky ones. All right, get your assignment done. If you have any questions, reach out to Mrs. Brimhall or myself, and we'll go from there.